even have to hear the full story. What happened? Oh, you ain't with Sam? He immediately, that has to be a world record. I ain't never seen nobody pop on one knee like that. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Love is Blind UK episodes 5 and 6. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. These are handmade sunflower earrings, and the link is down below. I'm also having a huge sale on the website right now, so make sure y'all check that out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, y'all, so the couple of episodes that I've seen so far, I've been into it. It's been a little bit slow on some parts. Shout out to all the healthy couples on the show. I'm not trying to say the show was boring because, most of the couples are getting along. It's just, this is like the honeymoon phase. And so, yeah, of course, y'all are getting along right now, but let's see how y'all do when you get to the real world. So with that being said, I'm not going to spend too much time on Sabrina and Steven. They're doing great. They're lovely. He's walking around in his Speedo, child. So, they're doing great. We really don't have to say much about them. Jasmine and Bobby, they're also on a good page. As far as the honeymoon goes, they're doing great. She gets into a little drama later. We're going to talk about that when we get to Demi and Ali. But just those two alone, they're not much to say. They're doing good. Maria and Tom, I feel like we're starting to see a little bit of cracks with Maria and Tom. Like, they're doing good. They're having fun. But like I said, they haven't made it to the real world yet. And I feel like these little snarky comments coming from Tom is going to start to get up under Maria's skin. Maria was joking around with him saying that he's on his phone too much. And, we're on vacation. Let's have fun. I don't have to get on you about that phone. And he turns around and says, well, I have to be on my phone. I'm a high-powered executive. Kind of like in a very condescending way. And she was like, well, did you judge me because I was a makeup artist? He was like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I did judge you. He thought in his head that makeup artists are just completely superficial and only focused on looks, as if that's not just your job. As if you're not doing other people's makeup. As if you can't have more substance than that. And he also said you could tell a lot about a person by what they do for a job, by their occupation. Pretty much the more he keeps talking, he's digging himself deeper and deeper in a hole, and it's really turning her off. It's because he's making these assumptions and looking down upon these people. It's one thing to maybe have a stereotype in your head, but clearly you're sticking your nose up at someone for what they do for work. And that obviously is a very ugly trait. Yeah, it turned me off to him too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, what is that supposed to mean? Because, I stay with a nice beat. So what are you trying to say about me? So obviously I caught her straight with that one. He goes on to say that he wants to be with someone ambitious. But a makeup artist can be very ambitious about her business and take on many clients and become a celebrity makeup artist, or be the best where she lives. Being a makeup artist is pretty much being an entrepreneur, and you could very much so be ambitious. You could start a makeup line. It's all types of things you can do. So many different areas and avenues you can go with being a makeup artist. I was definitely giving him the side eye, and so is Maria, but we'll see if they actually make it down that aisle, child. Let's go ahead and talk about Demi and Ali. So Demi was very nervous about Ali actually seeing Katherine in person because she's afraid that he will be more attracted to Katherine than he is herself. Not gonna lie, when they all were together and Katherine walked in, he could barely keep his eyes off Katherine. Now, I'm just calling it how I see it. I don't know if that's just the way they edited it, but he did have his eyes on her. And later on in the episode, him and Bobby, they said that she kept looking at him and giving him the eye. I really didn't see that. And then even later on, when he was talking to one of the other couples, he was like, yeah, it's weird. If we would have made one different decision, it would be like the butterfly effect. We don't know how things would have happened. And so that's another thing that's kind of like, I'm kind of giving you the side eye a little bit more. And then obviously Katherine felt the need to have this conversation with him. Apparently, some of the guys told her that he told everyone that he broke it off with her, when in actuality she was the one to break it off with him. And he instantly denied it at first, but then he kind of walked it back. Well, I might have said it in the wrong way, but if I did say it, I apologize. I didn't mean to say it like that. He apologized. Honestly, all of it was petty. I'm just like, why do you even care? Like, does it matter who broke it off with who? I feel like Katherine was being a little petty, and she wanted to kind of like, I'm the one that broke it off with you. Even though the only reason why you broke it off with him was because you knew he was about to pick Demi. You knew he was about to cut you off. That's why you went ahead and did it. So, before the conversation ends, they do tell each other, yeah, you were what I expected. You were what I expected. And tell each other they look good. And I'm just like, be careful. They didn't cross any lines. There was no real flirting going on. But it just felt like his interest was piqued, if that makes sense. So, obviously Demi is across the room, very uncomfortable. She kind of shuts down. Demi is one of those people that if she's feeling a certain type of way, she's going to wear it all over her face. I'm the same exact way. Let me tell you, I identify with Demi when it comes to shutting down in a social situation and not being able to hide it. I personally thought I was good at hiding it, but I was told that, you wear your emotions all over your face. So I totally understand that. Ever since they had the conversation, she was standing over with Jasmine with her back turned to them because she didn't want to seem like she was, sweating the whole situation when really she was. And so ever since that point, she was just very quiet and a little standoffish, just, kind of fading into the background. And that's not her personality at all. So when she finally got a chance to pull him to the side and ask him, what was said in the conversation, he was acting funny. Like, he started acting standoffish and weird and evasive and didn't want to answer the question. And then he tried to put it on her like she was the one acting weird. She was just trying to get some sort of reassurance. That's all she wanted. What happened in that conversation? You could have easily given that to her. You could have eased her mind in that moment. And I feel like she would have let it go. Just tell her exactly what happened so she can ease her mind. But instead, he kind of like sidesteps her like, oh, let me go talk to Bobby, without even letting her know what was said in the conversation, and proceeds to spill all the beans to Bobby. And it's like, what? Like, just really left her sitting there with egg on her face. Obviously, she's feeling some type of way about this. She's also feeling like everybody around them is being super lovey-dovey, like kissing on each other, giving a lot of PDA. And she says they do that when they're alone in their room, but then when they get around others, he doesn't really do that, or they don't really do that. So finally, when they get back to the room and they're alone again, she's still feeling melancholy because she's just all in her head about that conversation. And so he asked her, what's wrong? I wonder. When she asked him what was said between the two of them, he all of a sudden gets very dismissive and, oh, let's just go to bed. You asked her. Why won't you just tell her what happened? Nothing crazy happened. Why won't you just tell her? He was getting on my last nerve. He ends up telling her a version of the story. He didn't tell her the same version he told Bobby, that she continuously was giving him the eye. Because I didn't see that. Did y'all see that? But he didn't tell her that. He just said that they had a friendly laugh and, let Demi know that he really doesn't care about her. He's just focused on the two of them at this point. Even if that is exactly what happened, it was your behavior afterwards that made everything weird. You should have reassured her. Now she's feeling extra insecure. She's in her head about everything. And I really just wanted her to just say what was on her mind and stand on it. You know what I'm saying? But later on, when all the couples got back together, she had a conversation with Kat. Kat just let her know, I'm not looking at him like that. I wish the best for y'all. I'm happy with who I'm with. I want y'all to be happy. And I could tell something is different. You're not acting like yourself. You're not being your loud, outgoing self. And everybody can tell. And so that's why I'm coming over here and talking to you, because, I don't want you to pull back. I want you to be you. And I feel like that did kind of relieve her a little bit and allowed her to okay, let me just let all this go. Let's just, enjoy the rest of this vacation. So then we have Ollie. He went right back over to Bobby and is having this conversation all over again. And Jasmine walks up in the middle of it. Now, look, Jasmine. I don't know if Jasmine was drunk. I don't know if Jasmine just don't know how to not overstep boundaries. I don't know if she's triggered because of what she's experienced with her exes in the past, right? But she was doing team too much. She came over there and told Ollie, well, you came over here and you told Bobby everything that happened with Katherine first, and I wouldn't have that if that were me. You need to tell your woman first, and just started really going in and badgering him. Katherine, this is not your man. You need to chill out. Like, really, you really shouldn't even have much to say. This don't have nothing to do with you. If you want to give a little bit of friendly advice, that's one thing, but she was completely out of order. I really do feel like Bobby should have tried to reel her in a little bit. But obviously, Ollie got in his feelings. He felt attacked. And honestly, he really was attacked in that moment. Even if I don't agree with how he went about all of it, he truly was attacked. Jasmine didn't have to do all that, right? So then by the time Demi caught a glimpse of how he was looking from across the room, she saw there was a little bit of friction going on. She was like, hey, what's going on? So he pretty much was, you could tell he was real aggy, and he was almost kind of taking it out on her. Like, what did you say to Jasmine? Wake her say that to me. She was like, I didn't even say anything to her. She probably got that from Bobby. He was like, I'm just tired of all this. I'm about to leave. I don't even want to be here. And she was like, well, you can go. And he just stormed out. Later on, they had a conversation, and he was just like, I'm ready to get to real life because I feel like this vacation is doing more harm than it is help. And to a certain extent, I can agree with what he's saying. Like, there is some interference going on. I'm still iffy about Ollie. Maybe he's just not the best at expressing himself. Maybe I could be reading him wrong, but it's something a little off there that I'm giving him the side eye on. I'm just giving all the side eyes this episode. So then we have Katherine and Freddy. They've been getting it on, child. They call it making it thunderstorm, and I crack up every time they say that. I might have to steal that from my channel because, in case y'all didn't know, there are certain words I can't say on YouTube or I'll get demonetized. So I think I'm going to steal make it thunderstorm because it tickles me and it's a good code word. So she talks to Freddy about the conversation that she had with Ollie. He ain't shook. He don't care. She ain't shook. They really don't care. I really don't think that Katherine is truly attracted to Ollie. I think she was just using Ollie as a way to boost her ego. Like, oh, this man wants me. I don't think she truly ever wanted him. I think Freddy, physically, is the type of man that she wants. That's who she goes for. She does tell him that she feels that she's not good enough for him. And, she's never been with someone who said, I love you, and actually meant it. And she basically says she constantly needs reassurance. And that just lets me know right there that she is not healed. And I don't think she's ready to be married. Not saying you have to get over somebody cheating you, but you're still dwelling in it. And in essence, you're going to take out your past trauma on whoever you're with. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening now, because she asked him, has he ever cheated on anyone before? And, he told her the truth and said, yes, he has. And she respects the truth, but she believes that once a cheater, always a cheater. And she's also been consistently cheated on in her past. And pretty much ever since they had that conversation, she's been acting funny. And look, that's not fun to hear. That's not something that you want to hear out of your future husband. I totally understand that. Also, I do think cheating on your ex-partner can be a red flag. Either you're going to stay in a relationship or you're not. If that's a deal breaker for you, leave. Don't stick around and punish him for what he did in the last relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't punish him for what you went through in your last relationship. This is something brand new. Now, I could see if you're a little bit cautious moving forward because of that, but to start being standoffish and, treating him some type of way because of it when you weren't acting like that before, Wait, Katherine, if that meant that much to you, why didn't you ask him that in the pods? If it's that serious, if you really think once a cheater, always a cheater, why is that not the first question you asked every man in the pods? It's that deep, but then you're going to marry somebody you haven't even asked that question. But pretty much, he feels some type of way that she switched up on him, and he breaks down because he's afraid of losing her. And I'm like, he's crying with no tears. So I don't know what to believe with him either. But I'm just saying, he didn't do nothing yet. And then it was funny because she was not moved by those tears. Like, she went over and hugged him, but she was just like, come here. There. It's going to be all right. Anyway, let's move on to Nicole. Okay. Now for your feature presentation. Nicole and this whole situation with Sam and Benaya. So when we first left off from Nicole and Sam, she immediately cut this man off before they even got on the plane to go to Greece. She was like, I'm not taking one more step with you, okay? So the next thing we know, we see her in a coffee shop, and she's there to meet up with Benaya. And obviously, she feels like she made the wrong decision choosing Sam, and she wants to apologize to him. Pretty much, she just running back to him after she played him and herself, child. So he was very happy to see her, though. Like, he was... Sam had already folded before he even walked through the door. Sam walked in. My love. Oh my God. He did everything but run over and just grab her face and kiss her. Like, the way he came in, the energy was giving, I want you back. Okay. Both of them. That's what their body language was saying. Like, I feel like Nicole didn't even have to say anything. He would have took her back. Like, he wanted Nicole. You could tell he was longing for her. He said it while they were sitting down. He felt like he made a mistake by not closing things off and pursuing her the way that he should have. And then even when she saw him, if you look at the way she looked at him when she first saw him versus how she looked at Sam when she first met him, it's night and day. It's night and day. You could tell that connection. You can't fake that kind of chemistry. You know, they sit down and they have the conversation. She brings up Sam. His face immediately drops. You know, he was living in La La Land until she brought up Sam. And, you know, she told him that when she first saw Sam, she instantly knew he wasn't the one and that she had made a mistake. And, you know, she starts to cry and apologize and basically say, you were right. You tried to warn me. Like I said, he acknowledged the fact that he didn't reassure her and where they stood in their relationship. And child, before I knew it, that man got on one knee. He didn't even have to hear the full story. What happened? Oh, you ain't with Sam? He immediately, that has to be a world record. I ain't never seen nobody pop on one knee like that. So as far as this situation goes, I did give Zach a lot of grief for, you know, choosing someone else and then going back to Bliss. But I think what's a little bit different about this situation is Nicole cut Sam off almost immediately. She didn't go on the honeymoon with him. She cut him off and went straight back to Benaya. Not saying it's right. I do think Benaya could have held out a little bit in that conversation. Okay? You don't want to let nobody think they could just play in your face and just do or say whatever. And also, in a situation like this, it kind of feels cheap because it took you seeing Sam in order for you to cut him off. Like, the whole point is love is blind. You're not supposed to let the looks affect all of that. You know what I'm saying? But can I tell y'all, I'm not mad. They just look like they're so happy together. Like, how can I, this is kind of the same way I felt about Zach and Bliss after a while. It's like, how can I be more upset than the person in the situation, especially when y'all seem like y'all are so happy together? Why am I holding a grudge about it? You know what I'm saying? It's funny because when they showed up to Greece, everybody was jumping up and down excited like little kids. They zoomed over to them. All the men were, yeah, but no, you know what? They all but lifted him up in the air like it was a championship game. All the girls like, ah! With Nicole. They were definitely in shock when they first saw them, but nobody felt bad for Sam. And literally everybody was in the confessional like, yeah, I knew she made a mistake. Yo, they're making really good couple. Didn't nobody say nothing about feeling bad for Sam. That's crazy. You know, they had fun on their vacation. And the next thing you know, they moved into their apartment. And that's when he proposed with an actual ring. And they genuinely, out of all of the couples, seemed the happiest. Like, I can't even lie. Like, I'm not saying the others are faking it, but theirs just gives more authentic. And maybe because it was like they almost didn't have each other, both of them feel like they could have lost each other, and so now I'm just gonna go full force. I'm so happy for them. I hope they work out, y'all. Like, they better not have done all of this and say no at the altar, because I'm gonna be mad. I'm invested. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.